Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to the very first episode of the JDP Podcast. I'm your host and your photographer, Jenna Davis of Jenna Davis Photography. I am a Baltimore and Frederick, Maryland-based photographer. I started my career here in Frederick County back in 2012 when I graduated from school. And I'm actually one of the few people that I know that's a professional photographer who went to college for photography. So I'm very proud of that. I think it makes me stand out a little bit in the industry, especially now that it's pretty oversaturated, and a lot of your photographers that you meet now are really just hobbyists. Nothing against that. I think there are so many amazing people in the industry, and a lot of them don't have a professionally trained background, but I do, and I feel like it helps me in a lot of different situations and scenarios, and it also helps me really diversify my portfolio. So yeah, that's just a little bit about me as an introduction. I'm originally from Frederick County, which is where we are currently residing now. We just bought a house in August, my husband and I. We have been living in Baltimore City for the last 10 years, which is really where a lot of my clients are based. So I still have a foot in the door of Baltimore. We still have our Baltimore home. Our friends are still in the city. We visit quite often. It'll always be a second home for us. But as we are kind of embarking on a new journey of our lives together, we decided to make the move back to Frederick County. And I couldn't be more happy because here we have a lot more space. I get to have a room in the home that's dedicated to studio work and getting people in here for specifically more for like brand and business stuff. But it's really exciting. And we also live near the lake, so I get to use the beautiful lake scenery when it's warm outside and not snowy. And that's been really exciting too. So let me just tell you a little bit about myself. I have been photographing weddings for the last decade. I started my career, my first wedding was in 2011, 2012. And I've been shooting ever since. So I've been working with hundreds of couples to make their wedding day perfect. And I feel like my style has really just elevated over the past couple years. I have really found myself, found my voice in the wedding industry. And I really want to be able to share that with you, and not just only for the photography aspect of your wedding day, but also for the planning aspect, because I have been a bride. My husband and I actually had two weddings. We had one during COVID, and then we had another one right at the kind of the end of lockdown and the end of the COVID times. So I really know how to plan a wedding, and I think I can be really helpful in that aspect as well. I've also worked in a bunch of different scenarios and situations, and I feel like I've seen it all as far as weddings can go. There's not a lot of things that surprise me or stress me out. I feel like I'm very good in, I guess, high stress situations as far as at least the wedding day goes. So I can handle and help and figure out a lot of different things. So I'm hoping that my knowledge is going to be helpful for you guys, and hopefully you'll find some of the resources in future episodes great for if you're planning a wedding, and maybe we'll even work together. I don't know, but this is really just to make sure that you're prepared, and so when your wedding day comes, it's as picture perfect as you're dreaming of it in your head. In the last 5 years, I've actually started working with a lot more businesses. So think headshots, product photography, interior and exterior photography, you name it. I pretty much have done it. And I am really honing in on that part of my business as well. So right now I'm really looking to work with brands to help elevate them with visual marketing strategies. So what that means is I am going to be working with small businesses and entrepreneurs to help level them up for their 2025 year and future years in their business. And in this industry, and any industry, video, social media marketing, content, professional imagery, like it is really what makes, I think, good brands stand out as well as move them forward. And everyone wants to get a hold of their ideal client and speak to their ideal client and be able to work with their ideal clients and get enough business to keep their business moving forward. And I think a lot of people fall short when it comes to the images that they have on their website, on their social media, really giving people what they need as far as telling a story, showing their actual business brand or their brand identity, making sure everything's consistent and cohesive, and just making sure everything looks visually appealing so that you can attract those ideal clients. And that's really what I've been focusing on. So this year I am offering strategy sessions for businesses, and then if you want to take it a step further, you can book a full branding session, which will include professional brand imagery that you can use on your website or any marketing platform, as well as social media content and behind the scenes, so that you really can start to elevate your business. So that's really where I'm at, and I couldn't be more excited about doing this. And I'm also going to be sharing information about branding, brand storytelling, visual marketing on here as well. So this will be a mix. This podcast will be great for couples who are planning their wedding, as well as businesses that are looking to level up in their visual marketing for the new year. Photography has really been my passion. I don't know how else to describe that. I have always been interested in photography. I picked up a film camera very young. Like I said, I went to school for photography. So this just feels like the next best step. I want to make sure that everyone I'm working with, whether they're a client or whether they're just finding me for the first time, it gets the most out of our time together. So I really want to provide great educational resources for anyone that could potentially be, planning a wedding or building their business. So I hope that you guys enjoy that, and I hope that future episodes will be, helpful for you in some type of way. What I think is really special about being able to connect this way is you getting to see who I am, actually see my face versus just hearing my voice. And I think this is going to be a great way for me to connect to anyone, and hopefully future clients and current clients. So I'm really excited to be sharing this journey with you and trying something new for my business and seeing how it works out for me. And hopefully if it works out for me, it can be something that'll also inspire you to try as well. So yeah. And just, I think what I'm here to really capture is I want to make sure, like, if you are a couple who's planning your wedding, let's say, you feel prepared. I think a lot of couples, like, they know the style of images they want. There are so many examples between Pinterest, Instagram, TikTok. Like, there's so much information that gets fed to you and that you can see and that you can take in, and it can feel overwhelming. So I feel like understanding the type of imagery and editing style you like is very important, but also working with someone who's going to be able to make your day come true for you, without adding any extra stress or without worrying that they're not going to be able to handle certain situations. And I think there are so many photographers in this industry now that are very new and may not actually be able to serve you in the best possible way because maybe they're not as experienced with weddings. So in this podcast, I'm really hoping that between planning information and education, as well as wedding photography information and education, this will help you make a good decision as far as the vendors that you're hiring. And it'll help make sure that your wedding day comes out exactly the way you want it to. And your images are going to be beautiful, and you're going to be excited over them for years and years and years to come. And you'll get to pass that down to your future generation, whether that's kids or, other family members. You just want your images to be timeless and feel like they're high quality forever. And then as far as businesses go, I think we're in a new era when it comes to marketing and how you present yourself. And a good website isn't enough. Pretty pictures are not enough. You really need to hone in on your strategy. You need to hone in on your brand. You need to make sure that your visuals are connecting to the right people. And you have to understand that social media and short form content and video and photos, they're very important these days. And it needs to be a good mix of professionalism as well as authenticness. And I feel like that's something I want to strive to communicate here. I want to make sure that you're understanding there are different options when it comes to the way you're showing up for yourself, for your brand, for your business, for your future clients. And a lot of that it comes from the way that you are representing yourself, the way you are standing out against the crowd, the way you are elevating your business to the next level. And I want to be a resource for you to do that. And then maybe if that leads to us working together, amazing. But at least we get to kind of talk about things here and bounce ideas off of each other, hopefully. And maybe this will give you some inspiration for things to try in the new year or future years. And yeah, I'm really excited for that. And I hope you guys will be too. Basically, that's all for today. This is, like I said, the very first episode, just my introduction episode. I am Jenna with Jenna Davis Photography. This will be the JDP Podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening to this first episode. I cannot wait to embark on this journey with you guys. And please don't forget to subscribe, like all the things. If there is someone in your life that may benefit from this podcast, please share with them. And if you'd like to learn more about myself, things that I can offer you, please go ahead and head over to my website. It's jennadavisphoto.com. So JENNADAVISPHOTO.com. You'll find my wedding work, my brand work, and how to get in touch with me. And until next time, thank you guys so much and stay tuned.